months. Yeah, Quicken is just for so you have 10 cantrips for Arcanist. It's fine. And a gifted sub from Natashi. Hell yeah. Trophying with Delver of Secrets and Pioneer feels pretty good too. Is this the Blue-Red Dragons brewing? Yeah, I'm gonna finish the brewing off stream. I'm not really sure where I'm going with it exactly. Okay, so I saw the castle and I was like, I should keep this. I think I need to keep all the cantrips for the Arcanist. But I saw the castle and I was like, okay, maybe my opponent has Thalia in their deck, and then they played the Overgrown Tomb, and I was like, okay, maybe they don't have Thalia, and then they casted Thalia, and then I was kind of surprised in out of the Absian deck. Would be considered Hall of Oracles. I don't know what that card does. Sick of losing, so I picked Amulet Tide and Blame 4 color. Yeah, that deck's great. Legendary humans have Indestructible, huh? So I can go heat this for 2 mana, cast the Opt. Wizard's Lightning this. I guess what I like to do here probably is just cast the Opt. And then if my opponent blocks with the Thalia, then I get to blow them out. Right bottom this. What I'm about to learn today. We're not Spread Dragons from Stormchaser. The combination of being 3 toughness and the wizard, like if it was just the 3 toughness, I would probably play the Sprite Dragon over it. But being a wizard is really important to enable Wizard's Lightning and Wizard's Retort. I don't think you're supposed to cheat on those numbers. I'd love to find a blue source to cast a Delver here, but you know, we're also just okay with our Arcanist drawing us a card every turn. We have Gargaroth and Pioneer legal, Golgari midrange. Gargaroth is fine. You have a lot of competition for the 5-drop slot, but Gargaroth is a totally fine option. Okay, no luck on the Delver flip. That being said, don't even have a Subtle to Wreckage to play around here. Yeah, 3 toughness on Stormchaser Mage again is, I would talk about this a lot. 3 toughness is just that sweet spot for sure. Could have played with fire to try to flip Delver. Yeah, but then we're not triggering prowess with this card with our double Stormchaser Mage. So I think it's better to not, but I'm aware of the interaction. Coco, okay. Probably should have had this on my radar. Think Cruise and Dictator Time will eventually get banned? Maybe, I don't know. It's tough to like say what will or will not happen in Pioneer, right? There's I just haven't been playing it for long enough to like comment on if I think they're gonna get banned. And honestly, like I think if anything is gonna get banned, it seems more likely that it's like Winota or Lotus Field or something. Energy Boy, thank you for the 9 months. Appreciate ya. Call our sub baby Tim. Any merit to play spell lands, Shatter Skull to flip Delver? There's some merit. Also, of course, like setting yourself 3 as a cost. You could figure it out. Have to do maybe call Frank Karsten to do some math for you. Helping with the 7 months, appreciate you. They could ban Lotus Field. I think the Lotus Field combo deck is incredibly good. It's incredibly consistent. There is a lot of hate for it in sideboards, which can keep it in check. I don't know. They could ban it, yeah. Slapcaster, 9 months, appreciate you. I'm also not of the opinion that anything like desperately needs to be banned in Pioneer. And you know, these are just kind of my initial impressions as someone who's played maybe 200 matches of Pioneer. Probably not even quite that many since returning to the format. Is those for the Tron of Pioneer? No, it's like the ad nauseum tendrils of Pioneer. 10 more subs from Destructotron. Destructotron's trying to get an extra wing added onto the house. just for them. Gotta get the sub today. Make sure to thank them. Gotta get the subs today. From Horseshoe, Destructotron. Just trying to get back to #1. A strong lead for this week. Opponent is tanking really hard on this Godless Shrine. Do you think you'll play a Pioneer Challenge soon? Yeah, I think I'll try to play one this weekend. No promises, I guess. I've got a lot of shit going on, man. But I'll try to play one this weekend. But I'm wanting to play a Pioneer Challenge. Maybe we'll do Modern and Pioneer. Maybe just Pioneer. We'll see. But I'm having a really good time in the format. I'm doing a lot of brewing. I'm having a good time. What record did you achieve for Dallas? I was 4-0 and I finished 5-3 to not make day 2. It's rough stuff. Destructotron with another gifted sub to Dagula for a total of 131 now. That's a lot. Please make sure you're not going broke gifted subs. Destructo. Maybe subs have to have a small post-it note in the new house with your username. I'm afraid to give you a number because I'm afraid it might happen. What do you think of Aetherworks Marvel and Pioneer? That's an excellent question. Aetherworks Marvel is a card that I used to think was not very good in Pioneer because of the prevalence of Teferi Time Raveler. Teferi Time Raveler is banned, so maybe it is something you could work on. Maybe something I'll work on. Maybe something you'll work on. Hey, everyone else, how's it going? Good to see you, buddy. Yeah, I've been liking this deck a lot so far. 5-0 or less league. I'll be right back. Okay. All the draw against humans. I think we're gonna go ahead and keep this. Think about a deck with a clue token producer like Inspector or Tracker with Tezzeret at the top end. There could be something to it. I think that there's like probably a lot more angles there than yeah. There's a lot of ins and outs to an idea like that. Would be a lot of difficult deck building decisions to make, but yes, you could potentially work on it. Yeah, people have talked about Adeliz. I think that like the card is like, it's 3 mana. It's a 3 mana 2/2, which is a really bad place to be right now. It's also really mana intensive. Royal Scions, I think, is a better 3 mana threat. Scions just plays so well with Arcanist, so well with Cruise. Just good in general, I think. Notice you're playing Fringe formats in stream. Have you considered many requests to start playing Plane Chase content? I've only played Plane Chase like once or twice. But the first time I played Plane Chase, it was like one of the most fun nights I've ever had playing Magic. It was a game of EDH. It was ridiculous. It was so fun. I had no idea what Plane Chase was before I like showed up that night. I really like Plane Chase. Me and my friends as Quicken only for Cruise. We just want there's not anything better than Quicken if you want to have 10 1-mana cantrips for Arcanist, which we do, right? It's like you just want 10 1-mana cantrips for Dreadhorde Arcanist, I think. And I think that Quicken is the best one. It does, like you said, have that synergy with Cruise. Shoot. I guess I'm gonna attack and then look for burn spells. If I don't find them, I can cast a Consider on my opponent's turn looking for burn spells. Thrilled if my opponent double blocks, I think, too. Why isn't Stormchaser in Stream Decker? I thought I updated it. It should be in the deck over the Soulscar Mages. I thought I updated it. I apologize if I didn't. My opponent, oh right, the Cinder's tapped. But my opponent definitely should have. They definitely should have blocked because I can't cast another spell this turn. Yeah, sorry. Looks like I deleted the Soulscar Mages, but for whatever reason, the Stormchaser Mages just didn't get added. Okay, we could draw Wizard's Lightning even then. It's gonna be tough. Blue Green Vehicles gets Taz, Child's Tracker, Springleaf Prototype, Dreadnought. Yeah, I mean, I like all these words you're saying. Just got to spend some time working on the list. I do think I like Heart of Kirin, Tracker Cruise Heart of Kirin. Yeah, there's maybe something there. Okay, game 3 on the play. Isn't Delver a scam? I've been very impressed by Delver of Secrets in Pioneer. I've been very impressed by it. Like, in Modern, Modern Delver's like even a somewhat playable card, but the problem is you have Dragavan and Dragon Rage's Channeler to compete with. In Pioneer, however, there is not only neither of those cards to compete with, but there is a severe lack of good 1-mana threats in Pioneer. There aren't actually that many good 1-drops, and so Delver has not nearly the competition in this format. This hand just has so much potential. I think I have to keep. I mean, I think Crash Through is just not that relevant because it's not relevant for Arcanist being a 1/3, and it's not relevant for our flyers, right? So I just don't think the Crash Through matters very much. Uh-oh. Oh, man. Abandoned ship. Come on, no. No, what could I have possibly done to prevent this? I did everything perfectly, still got punished. Oh, dude, my opponent also kept a 1-lander. I can't believe it. They also kept a 1-lander. They also kept a 1-lander. What the hell? They very graciously passed the turn for me. I can't believe they also had a 1-lander. That is so wild. That is ridiculous. Okay, I think I'm just gonna flash back a cantrip here. Yeah, this was the like I analyzed every timeline, and this is the only scenario where I didn't just lose on the spot. Yeah, 3 toughness is just the place to be in Pioneer. It is just exactly where you need to be. Hard to put back a Wizard's Lightning in a spot like this. I think there'd be some bans in Pioneer. I mean, I would be shocked if there were never any more bans in Pioneer, but like at least at the time of making this comment, like I'm just like not experienced enough in the format to like make any like super hot takes about what does need to be banned. Yeah, I think Strangle. I think that card's gonna be really relevant. I think that card's gonna be very impactful for Pioneer. Kind of greedy, but can I have land number 4? Yeah, Dreadhorde Arcanist is a wizard. Well, rest in peace. A bit too slow here. I think this would be a deck that could take advantage of the new Ob and Chariot interaction. That the Ob Chariot interaction is really win more. It is not like maybe some decks will play Ob and Chariot in the same deck, and maybe those decks will be good, and maybe you'll get to do the Ob Chariot thing sometimes, but there's not going to be any deck that like has the copy Ob Nixilis with Chariot be like your main interaction. Like if you have Ob Nixilis and you have a copy of it, you're usually ahead. If you're attacking with Chariot, you're usually ahead. So like the fact that like the idea of like wanting to do both being a big crucial part of your game plan is just kind of like the textbook definition of a win more strategy. Okay, rough mulligan to 5. Not the worst hand though. Does the ob token not enter with the loyalty? It enters with the loyalty equal to the power of the sacrifice creature. Do you have any modern decks lined up for later? I've been working on some modern decks. I really want to be working on the Sultai Neoform deck in modern, but I like getting a little intimidated by it, to be honest. I just haven't worked on the archetype in a long time. But yeah, we will play more modern on this channel at some point, yes. But most of my brews I've been working on lately have been Pioneer. What's the Sultai Neoform deck? Sorry, it's a Yawgmoth deck. When I was one of the first people working on the Yawgmoth archetype back in the day. You could like kind of trace blah 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 blah. Who cares? But back in the day, I really liked Neoform and Yawgmoth, having it be more of a Sultai deck, and part of that was like metagame considerations, where like Neoform, exiling your opponent's bridge from below was really relevant. Neoform was like lower to the ground, but you do get it's Yawgmoth Splashing Blue mostly for Neoform, which is a great card of the deck, and then you also get Phantasmal Image as a good tutor target, and you could potentially play an infinite combo with Sack Outlet, Phantasmal Image, any Undying creatures, infinite ETBs. And you also get Flibble Flip. Like just turn one young. If you go turn one Young Wolf and you're playing Neoform in your deck, you're going to want to Neoform on turn 2 a decent amount of the time. And when you do Neoform, you're going to want to get Flibble Flip a lot, where Flibble Flip will enter as a 2/2 and draw you 2 cards, and then like undie your Young Wolf. So I always like that card there. And like you also like potentially can splash white for like a Renegade Rallier. If you want to, you could potentially play Kitchen Finks again if you play the Phantasmal Image combo. There's a lot of ins and outs to the case. And like this was like it's you know, we've done some on stream brewing, like it just has to like come together really well. But I've always felt like the stream where we brewed the Yawgmoth deck, like all the Undying, that was one of my favorite streams ever. But it was also like back when I had no viewers. Yeah, so in this matchup I've been cutting the Delvers to dodge the 2 damage removal spells. I've been liking, yeah, this has been the strategy. I think I've been liking it. So I'm kind of hoping to relive those glory days. It's something I'm working on. We'll just see. We'll see if it ends up coming back together in a nice way or not. Think a variant of that version has legs? I think so, yeah. I think like the evolution of the deck, right, is like the Sultai version I was working on was kind of like the first version that existed in the format. And then that was like the era where Hogak was broken. It actually had not the worst Hogak matchup because I played Carrion Feeder to exile my opponent's bridges and stuff, and like you could combo off. But after that, like you transitioned into the Urza metagame, and that was when like Tom Ross and Aaron Barrett were. This was also like before Once Upon a Time was printed that I was like working on this, right? So Once Upon a Time hadn't been printed. Then Once Upon a Time was legal, and I think the best way to build the deck was like very clearly playing Once Upon a Time and just being straight green-black. But then they banned Once Upon a Time, and nobody ever tried Sultai again. I didn't try Sultai again. I don't think I ever really saw anybody try it again. So actually retrying Sultai Yawgmoth has actually been on my to-do list for like 2 years now. And I just haven't gotten around to it, like largely because like a lot of other content creators like Tom and Aaron have like and Ed have like really solidified themselves as like, you know, the go-to Yawgmoth people. And I work on a lot of different decks, so I'm like kind of just happy to like, you know, let people enjoy working on their archetypes without trying to steal any thunder. But I've been wanting to do it lately, so We'll see if I get around to it. What's the pull to Sultai? Neoform. Neoform is really good in Yawgmoth, and like I was saying, it was kind of it was in my initial like versions of the deck, and so it like I really felt like back then Sultai was the way to build a deck. Then they printed Once Upon a Time. Green Black was the way to go, but then they banned Once Upon a Time, and like I just haven't returned to Sultai. Okay, this has been we've had a lot of opponents just keep one landers against us, huh? I've been liking the sideboard plan. We've been winning this matchup a lot today. Deck techs are $10, Otter. Should take on Delver. Is it Pioneer Delver? It's pretty cool. Do you think Lavamancer would be good in Pioneer? Maybe. It might be good in this deck if it were illegal. How can Spike afford a house and one land paid actors? It's tough. It's all thanks to Destructotron. Here's match you. Good game. Good game. Which were you the humans player? On the draw against Phoenix, I think we can probably keep this. But I also kept 7. Has the red dragon egg been brought up? I think that card's like generally worse than Thing in the Ice, right? Which is also legal and also not in the deck. Probably for the 8 months. Appreciate you. So let me turn the notifications back on. We wanted Jalen to give us a new notification sound. He instead has decided to write like 2 songs for the stream instead, so we'll see if we ever get new notification sounds. Yeah, Thing in the Ice is very good against us. Has you never donated deck tech for a tier 1 deck with no spies? Yeah, it actually happens like really often for people to like just send like relatively stock lists of blue-white control and Murktide and Shadow. But like it's also true like the pilots of those decks love to talk about like the most minute small changes for those lists, which is fine. I'm happy to talk about it too. Yeah, maybe we should be playing maybe we should have Rending Volley over the red cap for like specifically Thing in the Ice. I can see that being the relevant thing. Gotta get a song like Caleb D the Wizard. I don't think I want like a theme song, but I do like the intro songs. Like we're gonna be mixing up a little bit. So we have like the original intro song that we played for like, you know, years, or not years, but a long time. Got deck tech for Akura. Post link in chat. Got the original intro song, and then now we have a new one that he built or made for us. And he's building he wants to like redo a more calm intro song. So in theory, soon we're gonna have 3 different intro songs on rotation. Don't love it, but I think that I need to kill the Narset, attack with the Arcanist. This Thing in the Ice flip is going to be very difficult to beat if it does flip. We maybe just need to dig for like the blue channel land again until we beat it earlier. The bottom of this. Super extreme spice. It's fine. Yeah, this happens all the time. Like the actually like most stock. The most stock list of Murktide currently available. And I mean, I think this deck's fine. I think like talking about the decision points is pretty interesting. I actually really like that you're not playing the Fiery Islets. I'm still like currently aspiring Fiery Islet hater. I guess Sokenzan maybe gives us some chump blockers, and if they can't flip the Thing in the Ice this turn, I'm really happy. Did they block the Arcanist earlier? I can't remember. Yeah, I guess they're just never blocking, huh? I think if they had Spell Pierce, they would have pierced back last turn, so I'll just go ahead and cast the Narset. And then if I find another burn spell, I can kill the Thing in the Ice. Failed to do that. guess I'll take a Scions. I'm not sure. And I might as well cast this Arcanist. It's kind of unlikely to do anything either. Yeah, super suck list. I think this is very close to how I'd build a deck. I think I may be like somewhat tempted to get like a little cuter with the flex spots, like play 2 Furies over the Pierces, play 1 Fury, 1 Pierce, 1 Dress down in the main seems kind of okay too. I may be interested in like 3rd Dress down over like 2nd Explosives or the 1st Subtlety, or like I want to see like always like the Fury more in the main deck than the side too. But I think there's like no like super wrong way to build the deck. Or at the very least, if there is a super wrong way to build it, you haven't found it. Or you're playing Hall of the Storm Giants deck, do you really get to 7 lands that often? I feel like the second Bugbear is more important. Well, like second Bugbear is awkward in your Wizard's Retort deck, but we've killed like 3 opponents with Hall of the Storm Giants this stream. I'm really happy with the first Hall. Have a cruise, brutal turn. Brutal turn. It's just so easy. I guess what are we doing this turn though? I might take 7. Play 2 Arcanists. Hold up the Wizard's Lightning. I don't have anything to flash back necessarily, but I could maybe pump the Arcanists. I just don't need to pray. I think I could take 7 here, kind of develop my mana a bit better, and maybe get kind of lucky, top deck a cantrip or something. Yeah, I kind of figured that that's why Akura, but I wanted to give you feedback just in case you actually wanted it. You paid for it. But I got the joke. I got the deck tech for Otter. Cool. So obviously, like, forgoing the... Ooh, brutal. I think I'll lightning them. So yeah, obviously this list is forgoing the wizard synergies in favor of just being good blue-red cards, which I think is fine. I have been really impressed by Delver. I do like playing Fire Impulse when you lose Wizard's Lightning. I don't know that I like Lightning Axe like this with just like you're just discarding cards for it. I'm gonna make up for the discarded cards with Treasure Cruise. It may be fine. It may be fine to build a deck that way. I'm not sure. So I can go Otawara, 6 cards in the yard, then Cruise for 2 mana. But I think I would probably try not to play these Lightning Axes. Hope we don't run into 1 mana counterspell here. Awesome. I don't like Unsubstantiate that much. I do like the first main deck Dispute. I think that's pretty good. Yeah, it is true. Like your 2 mana counterspell quality goes way down. You're probably pretty hungry for it. I do like the first copy of Crackling Drake a lot. And that's why Storing Process isn't a thing in Pioneer. It is a thing. It's probably underplayed. Oh no, I forgot to bring in the Chandra's Defeat. I've been bringing in the Chandra's Defeat. I forgot to bring it for the Niv visit. Just 1 copy. Not that I would definitely have it here, but we are super dead to Niv. Okay, keep this. Just some general thoughts on a list that I don't think needs that much work. Do you like 1 Hullbreaker Horror in the sideboard of these decks? I don't like... No, we have not enough lands. You would play Niv Mizzet instead, probably, but... I just don't think you want, like, 6 or 7 drops. And, again, those cards, like... Again, I've been saying this a lot, like... are only really good in the blue-red mirrors. And there are a lot of blue-red mirrors, but... You also have Narset for those, which have more splash damage against Lotus Field and blue-white control. Young Pyromancer should be a wizard. Where's Echo through time and space? Young Pyromancer should be a wizard. Has Reveler been explored since the lure span? I've played some Prowess with Reveler, yeah. Playing Arcanist, I have considered Reckless Rage. I think that for Reckless Rage to be good, you have to... I think we'll keep this. For Reckless Rage to be good, you have to be playing... Like the fact that it dies... Like, Delver dies when you cast it is tough. So if you wanted to play Reckless Rage, you could play Soulscar Mage over Delver, and that may be like just a totally fine way to build the deck. But I think that's what you have to do. I think I'm gonna graveyard this. Helps my crews out a little bit. I guess it's a wizard for my Wizard's Lightning next turn though. Let's see the 5-0 Blue Process and Pioneer. I don't really ever look through the 5-0 list these days. I just like, I mean, that's just because I'm like very lucky and people come into the chat and they, like you're doing right now, ask me if I saw the list and I say, can you link it? So I'll look at it if you link it. But I don't personally usually come through the 5-0 lists. I'm gonna play Harmonic Prodigy in this deck if it were legal. I would maybe try to brew around Harmonic Prodigy if it were legal. I don't know if I would play it in exactly this shell. Cubic, thank you for the 4 months. Appreciate ya. I would probably be wanting to play Stormwing Entity over Kumano. I could be wrong, but that's kind of like my first inclination. I would also want to be playing like at least the 3rd cruise, but you know, I haven't like necessarily play tested this version. Whenever a channel player plays a spell in the first play turn, deals 2 damage to them. Yeah, I'd probably be playing Alpine Moon over that as well. Oh ho, here she comes. Watch out, Spike. She sees 6 cards. Let me actually change the feats to Rending Volley. Oh, she bricked though. Okay, let's loot. Discard Den of the Bugbear. Opt. Cruise. Guess we play Stormchaser Mage. I don't really see a lot of points to just play with Fire Net this turn. Well, Fry. I think killing Winota and thinking the ice for 1 mana is pretty good. You could play Fry though. Fry's a good card. Fry would kill Niv. Okay. I feel like killing Winota for 1 mana though is really relevant. But yeah, Fry does kill Niv. So maybe play 1 Fry because I just wanted to bring in 1 Fry for the Niv anyways. Kind of like that. Play Lightning Axe to respect Winota thing. Fuel Treasure Cruise. Yeah. Just not sure if I believe in it, but yeah, I understand the idea. Like I just like the card disadvantage seems so rough, but maybe there's no getting around it. All right, need them to brick again. So hard for them to brick again. They don't. Let's go to game 2. Fry doesn't kill Niv. It does. Niv is a blue creature. Niv has 5 toughness. We're talking about the 6 mana Niv, not the 5 color one. Alright, so this has been my Sideboard plan against Winota. I'm gonna keep it back. Yeah, Fry also kills Thing in the Eyes, which is we're gonna play I think Rending Volley and Fry because I think you want 1 Fry against the 6 mana Niv. Just have an answer that you can find to it and find for it, and if they have 2, you lose. And then Rending Volley is 1 mana answer to Winota. Fry is 2 mana answer to Winota. You maybe need like 3 Rending Volleys and a Fry, but I've also been beating the Winota decks, even though we just lost game 1 here. Just something to think about. It's also possible you don't need all these Alpine Moons. Like one thing, especially in leagues, is like nobody really plays or I shouldn't say nobody, but the Lotus Field deck is way more popular in the tournament queues, I think, than the leagues. And so it's like I like to have the philosophy that I like to build my decks in the leagues as if I were going to register in a tournament, and that makes the practice better. But I do think if we're just trying to metagame for leagues, you could probably play less Alpine Moons. Are counterspells really worth it against a voice deck? Counterspells are good against counterspells are good against my opponent's deck. I know that they've got the voice. I also have the Magma Spray effect. Not exactly Magma Spray for the voice, but they're playing 4 and 5 and 6 drops. Eldritch Evolution. Turn 2, flip it up. I'm gonna play an Arcanist. If my opponent has the 3-mana 2/2 XLR creature, that's okay. They have to use the food token. We have the play with fire. Alpine Moons are nice against Nykthos decks. I don't know if I would bring it in against mono green. Just like turns it into a forest. It's card disadvantage. Kind of maybe there's some Nykthos deck you bring it in against though. We did just beat the mono green devotion deck playing for the trophy. Okay, I'd love to draw a blue source here so that I could just have counterspell up. How about a red source? Okay, I'll keep another play with fire. Kill the mana elves with the Arcanist and the play with fire. Upkeep fire. Fire only lets you scry if you hit your opponent, and would rather kill the elves. They didn't block my Arcanist with the goose. Brutal. Although now I get to kill. I guess I actually don't need to kill the goose because they don't have. Or I've got the Chandra's Defeat for Winota. So I can just flashback the Opt instead. And I feel like it's kind of hard to put back the Wizard's Lightning here. I suppose we main phase this Consider also just so we can potentially hit a land. If it's a canal, we get to play it tapped. Stormchaser Mage is maybe lethal next turn though. I think I'll Graveyard it. I don't think finding lethal is gonna be that tricky. And it's also like we've got I want to draw a blue source for Retort. Like drawing a blue source is also effectively game. That's about Spikefield in the deck. Spikefield is pretty awkward in a deck that really wants all its lands to enter untapped, and in a deck that in a deck that wants all its lands to enter untapped, and in a deck that has like the double blue Retort, has a lot of like blue cantrips too. Oh, that's pretty good. I think we're gonna be fine though. Yeah, there's also like there's a lot of 2 toughness creatures. There's not actually that many not that many 1 toughness creatures. I guess I'm actually gonna lightning the Innkeeper so I can get in for some damage here. Pete Fitty, deck tech, Squadron Hawk is kind of goofy. Sweet of Solitude. I like Squadron Hawk. There's actually like a lot of good white pitch cards with it. It's really good with Force of Virtue. If you want to post a link in chat, I can take a look. Interesting. Blue-white Callblade. You also have the March of Otherworldly Lights. I think with Squadron Hawk, I'd be kind of inclined to play, like, I would favor March over Ending in your split, although I guess you have, like, literally no other 1-drops, which is probably just something you should fix with your curve. Okay, we won game 2. Like, in like, Blue-white Stoneblade, the best card has been, like, Esper Sentinel, in my experience. I also really dislike this plan of like I'm going to play a creature-based blue-white deck, but I'm also going to play Supreme Verdict because I am hopelessly addicted to Supreme Verdict and I'm going to die of withdrawals if I don't play it. I would cut the verdicts from this deck every single time. I would play 4 Esper Sentinels. I know it's tough to do if you want to fit in the Hawks, but maybe you do something like no Memory Deluge, no Verdict for 4 Sentinels. And like maybe I also kind of want to see like the first copy of Wandering Emperor too. Maybe a Wandering Emperor over the Chalice. I could probably keep this on the draw against Winota. I will also say that as cool as Trepanation Blade is, it's slower in this deck than it is in the blue-red deck or the white-red deck. And Belcher and Oopsal spells are also really unpopular right now, so I think it's probably unnecessary to play the card. Just like a general thought. So I probably wouldn't play that one. You could play like 1 Verdict in the side. I wouldn't play these Vendilion Clicks. I would probably play Ashiok instead. Yeah, if you do want a 4-mana card draw spell, it should be Jace if you're going to play the Hawks. But I definitely have a soft spot for Squadron Hawk. It's hard for me to hate the card too much. There's one Chalice too weird. Yeah, I guess that's the thing. If you could play more Chalices and not play Sentinel if you wanted to, that would be fine. But you need to play more than just the one copy, I think. Okay, Deafening Silence. I'm okay with them casting that, I think. Just get a bit aggressive here. We 5-0'd last league. 5-0'd last league. I think Strangle is going to be very impactful in Pioneer. I think that card's great. I would definitely play it in this deck. If you had to play Marty with Modern, what would I say most viable? I think the Reanimator deck's good. You just please play 4 Persists. Just cut the stupid Flicker enchantment. Please play 4 Persists. I'm begging. I'm begging chat to play 4 Persists. I'm begging for 4 Persists. A bit of redundancy here. If they block, I'm gonna play with Fire the Archon. I want to run Thrill of Discovery though. I feel like I don't love. I just hate like the Reanimator decks. I really don't like looting effects that make you discard first. It's not obviously the end of the world to play something like that though. Okay, so if I play with Fire, they go to 10, and the next turn, yeah, I'm not presenting Lethal. The Flicker enchantment was great. I mean, I've played against it a lot. I've yet to see it be great. I don't think it's truly terrible, but I also think it's just so silly they play less than 4 Persist. Persist is, in my opinion, very, very good in that deck. I wouldn't leave home without the 4th copy. At the very least, I don't draw well enough for me to want to play only 3 Persist in a deck like that. Try Desperate Gorillaz, cannot figure out how to compare Desperate Persist, constant 1/2s. Yeah, I agree it's tough to figure out. And it's also like, I've said this a lot, but the Reanimator decks in general are always like by far the hardest decks to evaluate, because like when we built the Esper Gorillaz deck, we just like went we were like 3-2-4-1-5-0 or something like that, and we YOLO'd it in the PTQ, didn't do that well with it in the PTQ, and I'm still not sure how good or bad I think the deck is. I'm still not sure how good or bad I think the deck is. I think the new equipment will make Devoted Druid playable competitive. I mean, there's already a combo with Devoted Druid in Modern. One cool thing I like about this new equipment is you could potentially play Zerda in the Devoted Druid combo deck, right? You can play Zerda instead of Vizier, and so Zerda and this new equipment instead of Vizier, and then you also get to play the Zerda Umbral Mantle Mana Dork combo, where Stoneforge Mystic can tutor this card, Stoneforge Mystic can tutor Umbral Mantle, then Umbral Mantle Zerda Mana Dork is infinite power, and if it's on a Birds of Paradise, it's flying infinite power. So I feel like everything I'm saying, it all feels like a bit lost in the sauce. That being said, I do genuinely think there is some potential. So go green white hammer with combo. Yeah. Well, hammer, I don't know. Yeah, I know you can't play Saga with Zerda, but you can also just not play Saga, right? You don't have to play Saga. You could play Saga though. Saga obviously being like 0, like does fit pretty well on the curve. I think where you go turn 1 Saga, turn 2 Druid, then Saga gets you your equipment. But Zerda's also sick. I don't know. Boom. It's lethal. There's a Deafening Silence, right? Bounce Silence, double spell to win. Only 4 mana last turn, right? Or I guess in the turn last turn. Maybe you're right. Here I'm gonna bounce the silence and then upkeep, try to find a second spell. Why can't Zerda play Saga? Yes, it can't. I don't know. You have to ask. It doesn't actually have an activated ability on the card. It gets activated abilities. 2+4 is lethal. They have the food token, so we have to find the spell here. Which I'm pretty likely to with the Scry, right? And again, it's cool. What I like about playing Zerda, right? What I like the idea about playing the Zerda Devoted Druid combo deck is that like your mana dorks are actually like really reasonable threats because they're all of a sudden combo pieces. If you're playing both this new Devoted Druid combo and you're playing Umbral Mantle to combo with Zerda mana dork, it seemed like I think that like making your mana dorks like, you know, more threatening, like just generally better to be in play is kind of nice. We're currently 7-1 with the Stormchaser Mages. We had a much worse record though with the Soulscar Mages. I'll note that the Soulscar Mages are to thank for all of the increased variance. A Grazer into Botanical Sanctum. So we're playing against the Lotus Field deck for the first time on stream, I think. I don't know that we've actually streamed against the Lotus Field deck yet. But we are prepared post board. Game 1 is going to be rough, but in sideboard we have 3 Narsets, 2 Negates, 3 Spell Pierce, 2 Alpine Moons. We get to cut our relatively dead burn spells. Probably a pretty good matchup. Although I don't know, maybe like the fact that we're not favored game 1 makes it not that good of a matchup. This turn, I think we're just gonna have to, you know, try to be aggressive. Delver, Bolt the Grazer. Next turn we can go Stormchaser, Cantrip. I have a bounce spells in the format. I wonder if this. Well, we have. Yeah, bounce spells are okay. We're gonna switch to Rending Volley in the sideboard to help answer the thing in the ice. We have a Sokenzan. Brazen Borrower is a fine card in Pioneer. A little less fine in Modern. Oh, it's good in the Cascade decks. Okay, Counterspell maybe a turn too slow. We'll see what happens. Opt consider Cruise, completely overwrite any viability of one mind being playable in the deck. Well, you'd also have to play Young Pyromancer of one mind to be good. No Spray Dragon. Yeah, Spray Dragon's not a dragon. Also, like 2 mana 1/1 is not great in Modern or Pioneer. Like the 3 toughness is really big right now. Narset is surprising lackluster against Lotus because Ultimatum can build piles that ignore Narset in general. Well, I mean, I don't think that Narset is 3 mana win the game, but I can't imagine that it's lackluster. Like it shuts off their pour over the pages and it digs you for counter spells and Alpine Moon. Why not play with Fire and Upkeep to set up Delver potentially? Well, because then we're like missing it. Because I want to be able to cast a spell after the Stormchaser Mage to trigger Prowess, which is more damage if we do flip the Delver. Otherwise, we're like missing out on the Prowess trigger here. Okay, return Dark Position. It's gotta be good enough. Okay, gonna bring in the sideboard. The whole sideboard. I think actually trim on the Stormchaser Mage because I'm, you know, I'd be a lot worse at triggering Prowess with this sideboard plan. Yeah, it's a turn 4 kill. Turn 4 is, I think, the average kill turn for Lotus Field. If I'm not speaking out of turn. Yeah. I think it can very technically kill turn 2, but it has to be like perfect 7. You go Grazer, land, then turn 2, float 2 mana, Lotus Field, Hidden Strings. But then you have to go like, it's maybe not possible. You have to go like strings or something into like Emergent Ultimatum. That might not even work. Turn 4 is fastest. You can definitely kill turn 3. The deck can absolutely kill turn 3. Turn 5 is average? Okay, I thought it was turn 4 average. I could be wrong about that, but the deck absolutely, like, 100% can kill turn 3. Yeah, I don't think it can actually kill turn 2. I'm trying to think if there even isn't. There's maybe theory. No, it can't kill turn 2. If you go turn 1, yeah, you have to have Vizier. If you go turn 1 Grazer into land Lotus, it's not like realistically possible, but if you go again Grazer and so that then float 2 mana, play Lotus Field, and you can cycle 4 Viziers in a row to make a bunch of mana, and then like cast an Ultimatum or kind of cast Omniscience. It is definitely possible to win on turn 2, but like is absolutely just a magical Christmas land scenario that seems relatively unrealistic. Yeah, you have to like stack your deck and chain Viziers. Yeah, Underworld Breach definitely. I remember that being like a much more possible turn 2. So I think you usually want to wait to play Alpine Moon until your opponent plays Lotus Field, so you don't let them play the Lotus Field without it getting to without them having to sack the lands. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. I would be surprised if like anybody is actually killed on turn 2 with Lotus Field in this like iteration of the metagame, like with no Underworld Breach. But technically possible. So it's kind of interesting. I think I actually, well, that maybe changes it, but I'm not sure that I'm actually flipping Delver if I can, because I want to be able to have 2 counter spells up. But maybe I could just go flip Delver, Alpine Moon, play Delver, have 1 counter spell up this turn, which I think 1 counter spell Alpine Moon Narset, where it's probably good, right? It's probably good enough. Can kill. If I flip Delver, I can kill with the Den in 2 turns. You discard Balagad Recovery instead of playing it as a land. Opponent definitely has Beseiju. I think you're right. Yeah, the fact that Beseiju's uncounterable is a big deal here. That being said, I do have 2 counterspells up and Narset in play, so I feel like it's going to be hard to lose from here. It could be famous last words, I guess. I'm probably supposed to counter a Hidden Strings. Yeah, I don't have a wizard anymore. I also wouldn't have enough blue mana. Okay. There are no pitch cards in the format, right? There's no no Solitude. Good game 2. You got a draw for game 3. And Delver and multiple retorts, obviously part of what you want to see, but you don't want to see a 1-lander in this matchup. This hand's fine though. Imagine they get a Lotus Field. See what I might end up considering in my upkeep. Hopefully they don't have a turn 4 kill again. Or turn 3 kill. I guess I'm not gonna I'm glad that we drew the retort. It feels really bad to not flip the Delver here, but I think it feels better to actually have a counterspell up this turn. Love to find Alpine Moon. Spell Pierce is probably going to be worth keeping, so I can have 2 pieces of permission up. And then Opt is not bad. I might keep an Opt too. Just get to, you know, play more at instant speed here. Yeah, basically not revealing anything in this spot. Arcanist is nice, but I think I have to pass with Retort and Spell Pierce up. And then, you know, get to keep cantripping, maybe find more counter spells, maybe find Narset, maybe find Alpine Moon. 1 mana counter non-creature spell, make 2 treasures. Modern Viable is 1 copy of Snap. That card is completely unplayable in every 60 card format. I think land's fine, so I can flip Delver if I want to. Cruise is kind of interesting. I guess I'll take an Alpine Moon, though. See if they have a Boseiju. They do have 1 Boseiju in the graveyard. But I'm not actually sure how many they play. Can't you play Demo Destruction against Boseiju? I mean, you have to have it in your hand. You have to play it. You have to, you have to draw it. You have to have 3 mana up when they Boseiju. But I guess, yeah. Maybe that was maybe the correct turn to play the Arcanist. I was thinking that I wasn't supposed to play the Arcanist because they had all that mana up, but then they just tapped their mana main phase. Seeing the name of the next card drawn. Opt! It's pretty quick. Alright, I'm gonna cast the Arcanist now. I should have done it last turn. What, Tails End? Yeah, you could play Tails End. I don't know. Like I think like I would rather just play more Alpine Moons, right? If my goal here, if the card what we're trying to do is play a card that counters the Boseiju on Alpine Moon, I would rather just play extra Alpine Moons, to be honest. Right? Just have 2 Alpine Moons in play. I think I want a red source there. This might look a bit weird to counter this, but my hand is like all counter spells and draw spells. I'm just, and my opponent's stumbling. I'm pretty happy to just get to trade some mana here. Who's dropping some of the 15 months? Appreciate ya. Okay. I think I'm just gonna cast the Narset here. Negate in him. I think they have a Vizier here. Boseiju. Well, they got me. I do have, you know, Negate, Spell Pierce up, and Narset in play. Emergent Ultimatum. It's maybe better to double Spell Pierce there, actually. Okay, so if I Treasure Cruise, I don't have double Spell Pierce up if I miss on an untapped blue source, but I'm somewhat likely to hit an untapped blue source. Excuse me. And I can also find my second Alpine Moon. Okay, I didn't find it. I guess we just go to discard. And we can probably kill a Stormchaser Mage, so I can probably just actually discard Negate, Spell Pierce, Spell Pierce, Stormchaser. And I'll have lethal next turn. So can they win through two hard counters, 1 Spell Pierce, and Narset is the question. Yeah, you definitely bring in Narset against blue-white control. What the hell is this card? Each instant sorcery spell in your graveyard has flashback. The flashback cost is equal to that card's mana cost. Well, I've never seen this card in my entire life. Spell. Wait, no! You can counter it! You can counter this card! Oh no! I'm sorry, I thought that you couldn't counter this, and now I can't counter anything. Fuck. I've never seen this card in my life. It says can't be countered on it. Yeah. I've never seen this card in my entire life, guys. Destroy all creatures. Oh, mana value 2 or less. Fuck. Okay. Do I save these to trigger prowess? I think I do. They didn't kill me though. So embarrassing. It's part of learning a new format is just like getting utterly trashed by cards you've never read before, I guess. We're super dead. They just flash back the Emergent Ultimatum. Okay, well, as far as like playtesting goes, right? You just counter that card and you probably can't ever lose. Why don't counter the sweeper? Well, after that card resolves, you can't counter anything. I thought itself was uncounterable. But it's not that good, thankfully. We can just move on. GG's Apollo. Yeah, I misread Lair. I thought that it was uncounterable and the spells you flashbacked were counterable. My hand was like literally all counter spells. Ugh. It do be like that sometimes. Soulscar Mage is not good for Empire. It was in my earlier draft. We ended up replacing it with Stormchaser Mage, where like 3 toughness is really relevant, flying is really relevant. Okay. So probably just gonna play with Flyer, flashback. Do I want to keep a Wizard's Retort? I don't think I mind keeping a Retort here. This Phoenix matchup has been really, really common today. Yeah, Bring Slave for Valky is a Pioneer thing. It's obviously sees play in the Niv Mizzet deck. Niv Mizzet's a good deck. I have been kind of looking if there's like a different shell for Bring to Light Valky and Pioneer. Haven't necessarily found one yet. I guess I'll play around Spell Pierce by casting Play with Fire pre-combat. This is maybe, a lot of people have asked about Jace Friend's Prodigy today. This has been my experience with Jace. This card is just like the most fragile card in the format, and I think you're better off not including it. It's not Phoenix. It's likely Blue-Red Narset isn't doing. Is Jace the card that signifies that? Or is it the Thing in the Ice? Because I've seen, I know, a lot of the Phoenix lists are cutting Thing, but I have, there have been some still playing it. What card here is the tell? Jace means Blue-Red control? Okay, I think you're probably right. It is always the case. It is always the case that people will see something like this, Jace, a card that like this, probably the blue-red list, right? That won the challenge. But we're playing in a league where it just there have been plenty of Phoenix players I think that play the first copy of Jace, and it's just not, I think that in league play it's it happens a lot where chat will think that a deck is certainly one thing and just ends up not being the case. Not saying that's what's happening here. I think you guys are probably right. Yeah, the castle I think is probably the biggest tell of anything. Am I still doing deck text to stream? Yeah, I suppose so. If it's not available for the channel points though, then you gotta pay. Phoenix seems really powerful, but also fun. Yeah, the Phoenix is a great deck. Phoenix is a really good deck. Just like the time walk combo is crazy on it. Black Splash from Claim Fame. Splashing a color in Pioneer is really difficult to do, and you are heavily incentivized to not play 3-color decks. Okay, so I'm going to bring in at least the first copy of Chandra's Defeat for Niv. Potentially more. I've also been against these decks really liking just cutting the Delvers and being really resilient to the 2 damage burn spells. Going forward, we're gonna be playing some combination of Fry Rending Volley, because the fact that like obviously like a big part of these cards is to kill Winota, and then the fact that Rending Volley kills Thing in the Ice and Winota for 1 mana seems like it's pretty good. Maybe we'll cut some of the Flame Blessed Bolts. Maybe we won't. I think we'll probably submit this for now. Although maybe I actually want to play with Fire over Wizard's Lightning, because this will allow me to use with Dreadhorde Arcanist. This can kill Thing in the Ice. It's obviously like less damage, which is also awkward, but like the fact that it kills Thing in the Ice with the Arcanist is probably going to be more relevant. Our Scion's still good now that Trample isn't as relevant. It's got a lot of loyalty. This like the fact that it has tons of loyalty is really relevant in this matchup. A hard time killing it. Doesn't die to Fry. I think Feather might have some legs. Yeah, I think it might. It also probably got some buffs with like Clever Lumimancer being printed. Maybe not. It's kind of a greedy keep to keep this on the draw. We do have a Consider. If we find a red source for Arcanist, we're pretty happy. It's a greedy keep. I'll try it. Hand immediately improves. The hand was actually a good keep the whole time, it seems. 3 toughness is 1 billion toughness. Yeah, we quickened Cruise early in the stream, and it hasn't happened yet again, but maybe it'll happen today, or this game. Thoughts on brewing Doom Foretold list in Pioneer? I mean, Doom Foretold decks have been around in Pioneer for a long time. They're probably underplayed. I know that Nassif really liked the archetype back in the day. I don't know if he still likes it. Has Nassif been playing much Pioneer? I haven't been able to watch many Nassif streams lately. Talk about no Soulscar Mage. Soulscar Mage was in the initial list. I think we cut them for Stormchaser immediately 5-0'd. But current impression is that the 3rd toughness and flying on Stormchaser Mage is more relevant than the upsides for Soulscar. Ooh, a mountain. I think I'm not gonna be so greedy that I put back a land here. The mountain is tough. Like if we draw the mountain before the pathway, get to play this as a blue source, it's just a totally different game, unfortunately. Okay, so I'm gonna spell Pierce here so that I can pay for a Pierce if they have one. They might just have Dispute though. Tank. Mystical Dispute. Alright, so put the Narset down to 1 loyalty. They revealed an opt off the Narset. 7 cards in their hand. We just snap off the Negate. Okay, I love Narset's getting cashed in. I mean, they revealed Treasure Cruise, but I mean, Cruise isn't even like that good here because they have to discard 2 cards. No, they only have to discard 1 card. It's pretty good. Won't Stringo also hate on Dreadhorde Arcanist really hard? We'll see. Like it's always like basically impossible to predict what a card like that is going to do to a format. Okay, get to catch back up a little bit on the cards. You have 7 in their hand. I don't love it. I think I'm going to negate, though. We're pretty behind. I think trying to get a little lucky is fine. Okay, probably cast the first. Consider. Still have the Wizard's Retort up. Okay. Just pass with the Retort up for now. Obviously, if we're able to just, you know, if my opponent doesn't have any big threats to play, it's going to be a really big game for me. Why did deck play Strangle instead of Fiery Impulse? It can deal damage to Planeswalkers and has 3 damage immediately instead of needing Spell Mastery. Jack, thank you for the 7 months. Appreciate you. Welcome back. I think I like keeping that on top so I can go Mage Cruise with Retort up. Totally okay if they want to fight over this. They decide to let it go. What in the world is this? Okay. Legal Modern card. Pioneer card. I keep saying modern. Or pretty dead to that, I guess. Can't Chandra's defeat? Yeah, Chandra's defeat is our answer to to Niv. Can't deal with the horror. Okay. Can this bounce lands? Okay, can't bounce lands. Can't bounce spells though. Yeah, no borrowers in the deck. I thought it was a wizard and I was really excited by it, but it's a rogue, fairy rogue. Okay. It's a good game, game 3. Get to play for game 3. So if they're playing Hullbreaker Horror, are we supposed to assume that they're just not playing, Niv? I think that's probably the assumption I'm supposed to operate under, and I'll play the 4th Play with Fire. Again, Play with Fire over Lightning so I can, Arcanist... Use it with Arcanist to kill Thing in the Ice. Hullbreaker 1 of. They're on 2 Niv. It's probably tough for me that they're on all those cards. I don't know that it actually matters much, but I don't feel like I've really figured out like the order I'm supposed to be casting Consider and Opt. I've been trying to think about it, and I'm trying to think if there's like a good heuristic I can use for Opt versus Consider first. And it's like I'm trying to think are there spots where I'm like more likely to just graveyard cards aggressively, and I don't know that there are. I think maybe we're just supposed to click at random and hope for the best, but not sure how good that strategy is either. We're pretty light on threats now, having cited Delvers. Well, we added the Narsets, which I think you're probably supposed to count somewhat as threats. Opt first because it hides info. I guess it doesn't hide. It's not much info, but it's something. Yeah, I am kind of looking for anything. Okay, so I can play the fire flashback to kill the Thing in the Ice next turn, hopefully. Probably want to consider first, if no, grave removal, because you might cast Cruise earlier. But like, what if they like Lantern you and then like you want to cast the Consider later? You know what I mean? It's interesting. It's kind of like one of those mind-numbing conversations that you do have to figure out. And I think it just takes some time to figure out, I guess. Do I want a Stormchaser Mage? I kind of want a Stormchaser Mage. It seems pretty good on my curve next turn. Consider if you would graveyard a land. Yeah, I think I like that. I think that's probably correct. If you would graveyard a land, cast Consider. If you want to cast Opt. Any house hunting this weekend? Our offer on house got accepted last week, so we are still, you know, like it's getting appraised this week. It got inspected last week. We're through the option period. But we're gonna close May 4th, hopefully. Hopefully, just gonna be smooth sailing. Like 3 weeks from now. Third thing in the ice. Yeah, I really like that I actually get to cast the Spell Pierce here. All right, I'm gonna get. It's kind of greedy to. It's kind of greedy to exile all these instants and sorceries for the Arcanist. I think I'll leave 2 Considers in the yard. The 2 cards in hand, 2 counters on the thing in the ice. Narset in play obviously makes it harder for them to flip the thing. not blocking a Arcanist, I see. Devastating, absolutely devastating. I mean, I think that I just have to hope my opponent can't flip the thing in the ice. It's not a great plan, but it's the plan I have. I did finish Elden Ring, yeah, I finished on Friday. So they don't get to draw a card. The saving grace. They have another thing in the ice flipping. It's super lethal next turn. I did consider Adeliz. I think the card being a 3-mana 2/2, you don't really want it right now. Oh yeah, I guess I didn't actually finish it either, because apparently there's like a Dragon Lord in the Flying City that I missed. Yeah, Adeliz would be fun. Undeniably fun. Okay, so now if they have a cantrip, they don't get to draw the card. This probably doesn't matter. I mean, I think we just have to hope that they don't have any cantrips in their hand, no matter what. Did you not go to the base of their tree? I did. I finished the game. I just I just didn't find that dragon. I've been to the base of the Erd Tree, okay? You think I haven't been to the base of the Erd Tree, chat? I've been all over the base of the Erd Tree. Yeah, I did the Hallowed Tree too. Beat Millennia. Since you have no shuffle effects and the card permanent gone, I think the Herstic could be considered first if you're more likely to bin. Up first, you're more likely to keep. Yeah. I agree. Okay, we get to kill one of the things. It's a pretty big game. And what's really nice is that they're not actually going to be able to flip and bounce my Arcanists. So here I can go... I can either play a second Arcanist, hold up Counter Magic, or I can play a Planeswalker, but probably just better to play a second Arcanist this turn. I did kill the Dragon Lich, yeah. Did I do the Dung Eater? The Dung Eater was not passing the vibe check. I said this earlier, but the Dung Eater was like, I'm going to defile your corpse. I'm going to defile everybody I meet's corpse. I'm going to bring, you know... He just like couldn't chill even for 1 second. So I killed him. Yeah, actually could not chill even for 1 second to like let me see if this is we had any chance at figuring out something. And yeah, someone else made a great comment. Appreciate the honesty. I absolutely appreciate the honesty. Most Dark Souls NPCs and Elden Ring NPCs are really vague. Dung Eater, not vague. Not vague at all. The Gold Mask quests. I don't know. Oh, the Golden Order. No, I didn't do those. Yeah, I killed Selvis too. Consider Archer first, Archon Treasure Cruise, need ASP. Yeah, well, I mean, I think one idea behind, or like one counterpoint there.
Hey.
Hey, what's up?
When are you estimated done?
Never.
Never? Okay. Never mind. Just because there's food in the fridge.
Okay. I'll be done soon.
Yeah.
Thank you, sweetheart.
Yeah, I have a meeting from like 2:30 to 3, so.
Okay.
But, yeah.
So we have to kill the Narset. I'm kind of hoping that they attack my Narset and I can just like take one hit from this at some point. We also have the Otawara still in the deck to draw into. I don't think I bottomed it off the Narset, did I? It's probably worth a retort. I think I did bottom off Narset. I hope I didn't. Could be right though. It's pretty hard to say no to a cruise here. I'm definitely only attacking with one Arcanist. I think I'm okay just leaving like one Consider back here. Not finding any more creatures. I guess I don't have that many creatures left in the deck, to be fair. Hopefully we can dig for the Otawara. Yes. Okay. This is great. This is great. This is really big. Maybe you could have left with Scions. Yeah, this Treasure Cruise card's pretty freaking good, huh? I've broken from 10 to 20. So 10 is the lowest. The Planeswalker equipment B. I think that card is maybe going to be an interesting combo piece for Devoted Druid. Probably not though. And like that's kind of it. Stop. Like literally stop, opponent. Yeah, I know I have to bounce that now. No attacks though. It's gonna be really hard to win from here. Okay, this is a start. This is the start to something new. So I guess if I find another play with fire pre-combat, I win. So let's move all in on that. Okay, all in was not successful. Not like literally technically dead with the information we know. Dead to anything, but maybe they won't have anything. This would be a pretty exciting game to win. How do you do the deck thing? You can type exclamation point deck in the chat and give you details. Wait, they're casting a Jace? They're not casting Niv? And they're not attacking. Hold. 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 They should have attacked. Oh man. Alright, we punted match 4 of this league in super embarrassing, spectacular fashion, not understanding a card. But we managed to win. Awesome game 3. Probably evens out, huh? What a game. Oh, man. What a game. Feels like a pretty good stopping point for today. Texas Top, if you could post your link real quick, we could get the deck set going. I like the deck. I think, so what I want to do is, I want to add some combination of Rending Volley Fry over the Chandras to deal with Thing in the Ice, Niv Mizzet, Winota. Not sure exactly. I kind of want to find room for 2 Rending Volley, 2 Fry. Maybe cut a Flame Blast Bolt or a Moon or a Spell Pierce. Yorion Living End.